Hello, today I want to talk about a subject that I tweeted quite a few tweets about, and that is Facebook's unethical social experiment called emotional contagion. Now, what they did in January of 2012, they took a bunch of users and they deliberately altered their news feeds, removing either positive posts or removing negative posts to see if they could make people more depressed or happier depending upon the type of posts that was shown in their news feeds. Now, a lot of people already know that Facebook constantly alters your news feeds anyways, because if you notice, you don't see all the news, all the posts of all your friends on your news feeds, because you would just be inundated with thousands of posts all the time if you have a lot of Facebook friends. Now, I don't have a Facebook account, but I do know, I'm aware of how Facebook operates. Now, it's also interesting to note that it took 2.5 years for this to actually come out. So God knows what else Zuckerberg and Facebook are doing as far as conducting more unethical social experiments on their unknowing user population. So the interesting thing is, okay, this study, the data from the study was then analyzed by University of California, San Francisco, and Cornell University. Now, besides people being legitimately upset over the fact that Facebook was running social experiments, trying to manipulate people's emotions without their knowledge, is the fact that in the original Cornell press release about this study, it said that funding came from the James S. McDonald Foundation and the Army Research Office. Now, it's interesting because when people discover that the Army was involved in this study, obviously that raises a lot of red flags. Why is the Army trying to control people's emotions that are on Facebook? What is the purpose of this? You know, is it to control people during periods of mass civil unrest that's going to arise, as obviously the income gap and the wealth gap between people, especially in the United States, grows tremendously, continues to expand. So there's immediate backlash in social media upon the release of that Cornell press release, upon which Cornell retracted that statement, said it was an error, which seems highly unlikely that's an error, because not only would the Cornell professor involved in that study, whose name is Jeffrey T. Hancock, have to read and approve that press release before it's released, and you know, how can you miss the fact that the Army provided funds for this study and overlook that and say, hey, wait a second, the Army didn't provide any funds, that's an error. But of course, everyone that looked at the press release approved it, but it was Cornell only retracted that as an error after there was a backlash against the Army and Facebook working together to control people's emotions. Now, there's nothing shocking about this relationship, because Facebook was originally founded as a DARPA project, originally received a lot of its venture capital from a firm that was headed by an ex-CIA member. So Facebook was originally founded as a way to gather intelligence on its users, in a way that the users would provide all the intelligence the government wants about this population. So if you look at Raytheon, they've also developed software called RIOT. And RIOT stands for Rapid Information, I can't remember off the top of my head, let me find it. Rapid Information Overlay Technology. So it's basically a software that will use GPS information from Foursquare, Facebook, and Twitter, and also information metadata hidden in digital photos that are posted on those sites to track people's relationships with other people, to predict their location, where they're likely to be at what time of the day and during what days, and also to track their behavior. So if you look at a lot of the social media, you should be very careful as far as how much you post on all this social media, because it is being used against you. Now, what I mean by that is I've also released, or I'm going to release, I'm not sure where I'm going to release these videos, a video called How to Change Your Life in 30 Days. And a lot of of that has to do with cutting negativity out of your life and being how to be a positive person, because that can make a tremendous change in your life. Now, if you're being manipulated like Facebook, and Facebook's removing all positive posts from your wall, so all you're seeing is a wall of negativity, and that makes you negative, then you need to stop using Facebook as well. Because if you're being manipulated to feel negative, then that's part of cutting a lot of negativity out of your life. So check that video out. If it's not released, I'm going to release that in the next day or two. So again, that video is called How to Change Your Life in 30 Days. So if you want more information on the Raytheon RIOT program, on the Facebook social contagion experiments, on other similar programs like Unified Quest, which is again, it's the U.S. military war gaming, mass civil unrest in the U.S. and how they're going to crush dissent. And if you want more information on, say, Raytheon Silent Guardian, which uses directed energy in the form of microwave energy to either cause burning sensations in the subcutaneous layer of the skin to control people for control of protests, and also on a smaller scale, they say the Silent Guardian can be used to cause intense feelings of discomfort, emotional discomfort, and paranoia as well. Check out all the links below. A lot of interesting news and interesting developments going on right now. And until next time, remain intensely curious and have a great day. So long.